How I got fired and refused to be rehired for a job I didn't have, or coolest manager I ever met and never worked for. I had a conference I have to attend every 6 months. They called a command symposium. We were a small unit by Army standards, but were spread out over the world. I enjoyed meeting with my other senior leaders during the day. But I am an extreme introvert, so I know that I need time to recharge after a day of talking to people. I stay at the same hotel and eat at the same bar, which is a short walk from the hotel. I walk to the bar when I don't have working dinners with the other senior leaders. The bar remembers me mainly because I watch sports and read a book while I have a few beers and eat dinner. Now this is a big bar with many tables, about 20 pool tables and 10 dartboards and a huge wraparound bar. Outdoor patio and dance floor with a stage when they have live music. Probably have 50 TVs, so they have every sport that is televised on somewhere in the bar. And the food is really good with a pretty good variety for a bar. During my 3rd or 4th conference there, I head over to the bar for dinner and football. After I eat and have a beer, I head to the bathroom, while the bartender pours me another beer. Halfway to the bathroom, I get the dreaded, "Excuse me." You know how when you get those words you can tell if it's, "I really need some help," or "I really do apologize," or "You better recognize your betters peasant." This was the latter. I turn and see a table of 6 women from mid-20s to mid-30s staring at me. They were dressed fairly well, so I assume they just got off work and hit the bar for drinks. It was not hard to see better than you in their eyes. Yes. The mob of Karens all started talking at the same time. "You need to take our order. You have just been sitting at the bar. Get your face out that book. You need to do your job. You need to quit drinking on the job. You need to respect your customers." I had a red button-up untucked shirt, but no logo and jeans on. The staff wore bright red polos with a huge logo over the chest pocket and black pants. Only an idiot would mistake me for staff, and I don't make time for idiots. Me and my command military NCO voice stopped to chop off their yammering. Just about the whole bar turned to look over at me facing the Karen Hydra. I was a bit louder than I should have been probably. The Karens looked at me with their eyes going wide. "I don't work here," I said in a normal voice and went to the bathroom. Looking back now, I think the way I said "stop" escalated the whole thing. As I said it in the same manner I would to a bunch of privates, and they were better than me after all. When I came out of the bathroom after washing my hands, very important, not for the story, but just important to wash your hands, I see the Karen horde screeching and wildly motioning at the manager. I had actually met him a couple of times, and we knew each other by name when I came into town. Really good guy, and you can tell his staff liked him. One of the Karen sirens yells and points. That's him, and they start squawking again. The manager waves me over and I see crooked smile that he is hiding from the Karen ogres. "Cool manager, CM up. Did you refuse to serve these ladies?" Thinking ladies is a loose term for people that use their left but cheek as a brain. When a dull screech of the Karens begins again in earnest. "Damn, they are demanding I fire you." Okay. "CM, okay then you are fired and don't have to finish out your shift." I pause for a second and look at how smug the Karens, and figure CM is cool, so why not? Do I get severance pay? CM, sorry, no. Any workers' comp benefits? CM, no. What about medical and dental? CM, not available for you, sorry. What about my final paycheck? Without missing a beat, CM says, "We will be sending you what we owe you in the mail." Or about a severance beer? CM, I think we can work it out. I reach out my hand and shake the manager's hand and say, "It's been a pleasure working with you, CM. CM, I wish we could keep you." And with that I went back to my spot at the bar. A couple of the people around me asked what happened, and I told them, and they had a good laugh. A few minutes later the bartender brings me a beer before I finished the one I had and said, "CM said your beers are free tonight as your severance package." He laughs, and the people around me that saw what happened or heard about it laughed too. I may have 4 beers at the most over the night of a game. I liked so there was no danger of me trying to drink the bar dry. They had 3 bartenders and I always had a fresh beer before the one I was drinking was finished. And they poured my old beer out so my beer was always cold. I pace myself when I am out and it can take me about 30 to 45 minutes to finish 1 pint. That should be the end story, but a Karen has to be self-important and would not let it go. But people have come in the bar by now and I had almost forgotten the whole thing. After about an hour after the incident, CM comes up to me says, "You are not going to believe this. Can you come with me back to their table?" Me, sure CM. We go back to the table with the Karen hell spawns. I thought it might be an apology, and I was going to be like, no worries, mix-ups happen. But I did not understand the nature of a flock of Karens in the wild that did not get the respect they are entitled. When we get to their table, CM starts with a straight face. "Jim, they had asked me to give you your job back if you will apologize to them for your rudeness as a server. They feel sorry for you knowing that you need this job for your medical bills." I cock an eyebrow at him, but he remains in character. He gives me the same crooked smile. I told you this guy was cool. One of the minor minion Karens at the table says, "We understand how tough it must be for someone in your position to be able to hold a job." Then a major Karen minion says, "You know, because of your age and all, and you can only be a waiter with your skill set." Well, I had been in the army for almost 20 years at that time. Even Lord Karen said, "If you just apologize to us, then we can use our influence to get your job back. After all, we see you just sitting at the bar getting drunk off of your last paycheck." GM is struggling to keep a straight face. Up. "Do you want to apologize and then get your non-existent job back?" I've got the coven of evil Karens. Yep, they missed it. Think I am going to stick to the opportunities that I have already and not ask for my non-existent. Whoosh, right over their upturned noses. Understand? Before he could finish his sentence, Lord Soren Karen stands up and gets in my face. "You better take the job offer back. We are putting our reputations on the line for you. You need our influence in this town if you want to make it here. I will personally make sure that you do not work in this town again if you do not take this job back, you worm." I used worm since she said some other things that are not that appropriate. If you can imagine, Devil went down to Georgia where a band of demons joined right in. You got the picture of how the other Karens came in behind the Karen high priestess. I looked her in the eye and very quietly said matter-of-factly, "I don't give a flying fart in a wine storm about your opinion, influence, or whatever comes out of that male rooster, garage you call a mouth." So close it before I parked my car in it. Little over the top, but I was done with them. I look over Kraken Karen's shoulder and say to CM, who is pretty wide-eyed, "I am going to refuse the job I never had." I am shaking a little from the adrenaline, but I turn and walk back to the bar and my fresh beer. The entire bar had seen this Karen screech, but since nothing really happened outside of the Karen's piercing wail of being disrespected, they went back to whatever it was they were doing. I mean, the Karen's table was in the middle of the bar, so it was like a stage for them. I calm down quickly. I really don't care what they think. Besides, it's a pretty good football game. They are still mad and say some things behind my back that I tune out. CM meets me back at the bar and apologizes. He counts my whole meal and I told him that he didn't have to do that, and we have a quick laugh now that it's over. He even tells me that they still don't know I never worked here. He said that he knows I like to relax in his bar, but he would like to do one thing if I let him. I was apprehensive but said okay. CM goes up on the stage and talks to live band that is warming up. He grabs a mic and says something like this: "We are proud of our military and would like to recognize one of our patrons with almost 20 years of service. Would up please stand up?" Again, I am an introvert and do not like this, but I like to see him, so I do it. I made sure not to look at the Karen table, but everyone around me did. Tonight he got confused as one of servers and I had to fire him. The entire bar starts laughing. I tried to hire him back, but he refused my job offer. More laughter. I guess he enjoys being the non-commissioned officer in charge of one of the largest medical research facilities in Texas. More laughter. We here at the bar want to thank you for your continuing service. The bar raises glasses, and I raise mine back and sit back down. The Karens leave very quickly after that, since the entire bar is giving them the stink eye. There was no doubt about who CM was talking about, since they were literally the center of attention for a few minutes with me standing next to their table. I have to shake a bunch of hands and get offered drinks, which I declined since I do have to work the next day. Finally CM comes over, and I asked him why he did that. I was fine and he didn't have to do that for me. Again, I like just relaxing by reading and watching the game with a beer. CM, I did it for two reasons. No one should get treated the way they treated you. The second is, do you think that they will put a bad review on our page now? If they try, could you see the blowback they will get? I could not fault him for that. I went back a couple more times when I had a conference in the area, but I made sure to never wear a red shirt in there ever again.
Check out my other excellent videos.